The lamb enters the world quietly, almost humbly, yet its presence carries a weight that far exceeds its size. Long before cities rose from stone or written language shaped human memory, lambs grazed beside early humans, forming one of the first and most enduring partnerships between animal and civilization. To understand the lamb is not merely to study a young sheep, but to trace the roots of domestication itself, a turning point that reshaped ecosystems, diets, economies, and the trajectory of human history. Biologically, a lamb is the juvenile form of Ovis aries, a species descended from wild sheep that once roamed rugged mountain ranges and open steppe landscapes across Eurasia. These ancestral sheep were built for survival in harsh environments, equipped with keen senses, strong herd instincts, and a digestive system capable of extracting nutrients from tough grasses. When humans began selectively breeding these animals thousands of years ago, they unknowingly initiated a long evolutionary dialogue, shaping the lamb into a creature uniquely adapted to life alongside people. From the moment a lamb stands on unsteady legs, its physical design reflects this ancient balance between vulnerability and resilience. The soft wall that covers its body is not merely a symbol of innocence, but a sophisticated natural insulation system, protecting against cold winds and fluctuating temperatures. Beneath this gentle exterior lies a physiology finely tuned for grazing, with a complex, multi-chambered stomach that allows the lamb to break down cellulose-rich plant material and convert it into usable energy. This adaptation enables lambs to thrive in environments where few other mammals could survive. Socially, lambs are deeply connected beings. They are born into a world defined by the herd, where survival depends not on individual strength but on collective awareness. Almost immediately, a lamb learns to recognize the voice and scent of its mother, forming a bond that is both emotional and practical. This connection ensures nourishment, protection, and early learning, as the lamb observes and mimics behaviors essential for life within the group. Vocalizations, subtle body movements, and even eye contact become part of a complex communication system that holds the flock together. As grazers, lambs play a quiet yet powerful ecological role. Their feeding patterns shape landscapes, preventing overgrowth and encouraging plant diversity when managed naturally. In traditional pastoral systems, grazing sheep help maintain open grasslands, supporting insects, birds, and other species that depend on these habitats. The lamb, often seen as passive, is in fact an active participant in ecosystem balance, its daily movements influencing the land in subtle but lasting ways. The relationship between lambs and humans is one of the most enduring partnerships in natural history. For early agricultural societies, lambs represented food, clothing, and economic stability. Wool became a cornerstone of textile production, while lamb meat provided a reliable source of protein. Beyond material value, lambs entered the symbolic realm, appearing in myths, religious narratives, and cultural traditions as representations of purity, sacrifice, and renewal. These meanings, layered over millennia, transformed the lamb from a simple farm animal into a powerful cultural icon. Yet life for a lamb has never been without challenges. Predation, disease, environmental extremes, and human-driven changes to land use all pose threats. In the wild, ancestral sheep relied on vigilance and group cohesion to deter predators. In domesticated settings, lamb survival increasingly depends on human stewardship, ethical farming practices, and ecological awareness. The future of lambs is closely tied to how societies choose to balance productivity with sustainability, tradition with innovation. In this quiet, grazing animal lies a story far larger than its gentle appearance suggests. The lamb stands at the intersection of nature and civilization, embodying the origins of agriculture, the complexity of animal social life, and the enduring impact of domestication on the natural world. To fully understand the lamb, one must move beyond the familiar imagery of open fields and pastoral calm, and instead look deeper into the evolutionary forces and biological mechanisms that shaped this animal long before it became a symbol of gentleness. The lamb is not naturally defenseless by accident. Its form, behavior, and social structure are the result of millions of years of selection in environments where survival depended not on aggression, but on awareness, cooperation, and efficient energy use. The evolutionary ancestors of modern sheep evolved in landscapes defined by extremes. Rocky highlands, arid plateaus, and cold steppe regions favored animals capable of enduring scarcity. Lambs inherited this legacy through a metabolism optimized for low-quality forage and long periods of grazing. The digestive system, centered around a four-chambered stomach, is one of the most efficient biological solutions ever developed for extracting nutrients from fibrous plant material. This system allows lambs to convert grasses, herbs, and shrubs into energy, transforming marginal land into sustenance and making them invaluable ecological intermediaries. Physically, lambs exhibit traits that reflect both wild ancestry and domesticated refinement. Their wide-set eyes provide a broad field of vision, a crucial adaptation for detecting predators in open terrain. Even as juveniles, lambs demonstrate a natural alertness, frequently lifting their heads while grazing to scan their surroundings. Their legs, though slender in appearance, are structurally strong, enabling rapid bursts of movement when danger approaches. This combination of vigilance and mobility forms the foundation of lamb survival behavior. Behaviorally, lambs are far more complex than the quiet demeanor suggests. From an early age, they participate in a rich social environment governed by subtle hierarchies and constant communication. Play behavior among lambs, often observed as running, jumping, or mock headbutting, is not random. These activities develop coordination, strength, and social awareness, preparing the lamb for adult interactions within the flock. Through play, lambs learn boundaries, establish early social rankings, and build resilience. Communication in lambs extends beyond simple vocalizations. While bleating is the most recognizable sound, it serves multiple purposes depending on tone, frequency, and context. A lamb's call to its mother differs distinctly from alarm vocalizations or social contact calls. Body posture, ear positioning, and tail movement further enrich this communication system. Within the flock, these signals allow lambs to navigate social space, avoid conflict, and maintain cohesion, reinforcing the collective survival strategy that defines sheep behavior. The habitat of lambs, whether wild or domesticated, plays a significant role in shaping the daily rhythms. Naturally inclined toward open landscapes, lambs thrive in grasslands, rolling hills, and semi-arid regions where visibility is high and escape routes are clear. In these environments, grazing patterns follow a deliberate logic. Lambs tend to feed in groups, spreading out just enough to reduce competition while remaining close enough for mutual protection. This spatial awareness is instinctive, passed down through generations as a response to predation pressure. Nutrition is central to the lamb's development and long-term health. During early life stages, milk provides essential fats, proteins, and antibodies that strengthen the immune system. As lambs transition to solid food, the digestive system undergoes rapid adaptation, gradually increasing its capacity to ferment plant material. This transition period is critical, as it determines future efficiency in nutrient absorption and overall resilience. The ability of lambs to thrive on grasses unsuitable for many other animals underscores the unique ecological niche. The social structure of lambs within a flock is neither chaotic nor rigid. It is fluid, shaped by age, experience, and environmental conditions. Lambs learn by observing older individuals, particularly their mothers, adopting grazing routes, resting spots, and responses to perceived threats. This form of social learning reduces risk and conserves energy, allowing the flock to function as a unified organism rather than a collection of individuals. Human involvement has further influenced lamb behavior and physiology in profound ways. Selective breeding has emphasized traits such as wool quality, growth rate, and temperament, subtly altering the lamb's interaction with its environment. While domestication has reduced the need for constant vigilance against predators, it has also increased dependency on human-managed systems. This shift raises important questions about animal welfare, sustainability, and the long-term resilience of domesticated species. Despite centuries of human influence, lambs retain much of their ancestral behavioral repertoire. When exposed to open environments and minimal intervention, they quickly revert to natural grazing patterns and social behaviors. This resilience speaks to the depth of their evolutionary programming, a reminder that domestication modifies but does not erase the instincts shaped by deep time. The lamb story, at this stage, is one of balance. Between vulnerability and adaptation, dependence and autonomy, biology and culture. It is an animal shaped by the land, by the flock, and by humanity itself, yet still guided by instincts older than civilization. In this balance lies the quiet strength of the lamb, a strength often overlooked precisely because it does not announce itself through aggression or dominance. In the modern world, the lamb exists at a crossroads shaped by forces far larger than itself. Climate change, industrial agriculture, shifting human values, and ecological pressure have transformed the quiet grasslands into contested spaces where tradition and efficiency collide. The lamb, once central to small-scale pastoral life, is now embedded in global systems that often overlook the subtle balance it requires to thrive. Environmental change poses one of the most significant challenges to lamb populations worldwide. Altered rainfall patterns, prolonged droughts, and increasingly unpredictable seasons directly affect grass growth and pasture quality. For an animal whose survival depends on steady access to forage, even minor ecological disruptions can ripple through the entire flock. Lambs are particularly vulnerable during early development, when nutritional deficits or extreme weather can have lifelong consequences. These pressures expose the fragility of systems that rely on stability in a world that is rapidly losing it. Predation, once the defining evolutionary pressure shaping lamb behavior, has shifted in form rather than disappeared. In many regions, natural predators have declined due to human expansion, altering the ecological dynamics that once governed grazing systems. Where predators remain, such as wolves or large carnivores reintroduced into certain landscapes, lambs again find themselves part of an ancient equation. These interactions reignite debates about coexistence, land use, and the ethical responsibility humans bear toward both domesticated animals and wild predators. The role of lambs in modern agriculture has also undergone profound transformation. Industrial farming practices prioritize uniformity, efficiency, and scale, often at the expense of behavioral and ecological considerations. In such systems, lambs may lose access to diverse grazing environments and natural social structures. This shift raises fundamental questions about welfare, not as an abstract concept, but as a biological reality tied to stress levels, immune function, and overall vitality. Research increasingly shows that lambs raised in environments that respect their natural behaviors exhibit stronger health and resilience, reinforcing the idea that productivity and welfare are not opposing goals, but interconnected ones. Culturally, the lamb continues to occupy a powerful symbolic space, even as fewer people maintain direct contact with pastoral life. Across religions, literature, and art, the lamb remains a universal metaphor for innocence, renewal, and sacrifice. These symbolic layers, accumulated over thousands of years, shape how societies perceive and treat the animal. Yet symbolism can obscure reality. The idealized image of the lamb often contrasts sharply with the lived experience of the animal within industrial systems, creating a tension between meaning and material conditions. Ecologically, lambs still serve as quiet architects of the landscapes they inhabit. Managed grazing, when aligned with natural rhythms, can restore degraded land, improve soil health, and increase biodiversity. In these contexts, lambs become tools of regeneration rather than exploitation, demonstrating that ancient practices can inform modern solutions. The challenge lies not in the animal itself, but in the systems humans construct around it. Looking toward the future, the fate of the lamb is inseparable from broader conversations about sustainability and coexistence. Advances in agricultural science, ethical farming movements, and regenerative practices offer alternative paths that honor both efficiency and ecological integrity. These approaches recognize the lamb not merely as a resource, but as a living participant in a shared environment, shaped by instinct, social bonds, and evolutionary history. The lamb's enduring presence across continents and cultures speaks to its remarkable adaptability. It has survived ice ages, human expansion, and profound environmental change, not through dominance, but through cooperation and quiet resilience. Its strength lies in its ability to fit into complex systems, whether ecological or cultural, without overwhelming them. This quality, often mistaken for weakness, is in fact the foundation of its success. In the end, the lamb is not simply the beginning of domestication, nor merely a symbol inherited from the past. It is a living reminder that survival does not always favor the fiercest or the fastest, but often those capable of balance. Between land and flock, instinct and care, nature and humanity, the lamb continues to walk a narrow path forged by deep time. And in that path lies a lesson as relevant today as it was at the dawn of civilization. Endurance is not always loud, and strength does not always need to show its teeth.